Hey guys, welcome back. I know it's been a minute since my last video, and there's a reason for that. So I obviously have been frequenting the Unreal Engine subreddit, asking a lot of questions, but also reading other people's questions and the responses that they get just to help me learn all different types of stuff, maybe even some things I hadn't thought of. But something that kind of became evident to me in that process was that, as much as I'm learning, building this world and, creating the environments and building the enemies and the player interaction and all that stuff, there is a big hurdle, just in terms of, packaging a game, like getting it complete and then turning it into a standalone program and, bug squashing and all kinds of stuff. And so I got to thinking that maybe this huge open world game that I've been working on, while it's been fun, maybe I was biting off more than I could chew for like a first project. So I started kicking around the ideas of starting something much smaller scale, so that I can kind of take what I've learned, build something from start to finish, get it to the point where I can, package this thing and get people to play test it and fix bugs and hopefully release it, not 5 years in the future, but maybe this year or maybe next year. And then hopefully, that experience I can carry back over to my larger project. So essentially, that's what I've been doing. I have kind of switched gears towards something much smaller scale, just so I can kind of get the experience of bringing a project to completion and actually getting it in the hands of people. So that's what I've been working on the past couple of weeks, 3 weeks, however long it's been. Also, I have been playing a lot more games lately. I got kind of back into my Life is Strange and Bloom and Rage stuff. So I've been kind of obsessed with that for the past couple of weeks. So I haven't had as much time to work on this, which has slowed my progress. But I'll stop talking. I'll just go ahead and show you kind of where I'm at with this new project. All right. So in one of these asset packs that I purchased for my other game, I also got this environment, which is this kind of post-apocalyptic hospital environment. It was essentially pre-built. All the objects and lighting and everything was here. So I decided to take this environment, and essentially what I'm trying to build is Orcs Must Die, but with zombies. So I've got my third person character set up here. So I had been doing first person. I thought I would try third person for this one. And this character model was actually free on the Fab store. So that was pretty cool. It's pretty good quality. So I got him working. I've got all these zombies spawning. I'll talk about that more in a minute. So I've got this guy set up where I can switch between two different weapons. Got him with a pistol here. and he's animated so that, you know, no matter where I'm pointing, when I'm aiming, he animates correctly. I added a flashlight on the end of the gun. I've got some bullets and the hit detection working. I got a reload system and some ammo count stuff going on. I do need to tweak the ammo stuff a little bit here because it is a little buggy. But you can see I have like a rifle going on here. This little HUD is a little something I tossed together in Photoshop and got working so that it, or the crosshair so that it only shows up when you're aiming. And then whenever you're aiming, the camera kind of locks to your mouse, but when you're not aiming, you can kind of freely look around. So I've got these zombies. These are some of the same zombie models that I was using in the other game. It's getting loud in here. Yeah, some of the same models that I was using in the other game. Right now I just have one zombie type, and essentially their AI right now is only programmed to walk towards the goal that they're trying to reach. I haven't set up the attacks and stuff and you know, what they do if the player gets close to them or anything like that. I've only got them, you know, trying to get from point A to point B, and I've got their health set up so that, you know, when I shoot them, they take damage and they'll die once they reach 0. But essentially what I am planning on doing here is there's going to be, so the premise of this thing, you're a survivor in this zombie post-apocalypse. You have come to this rundown hospital because, you know, one of your fellow survivors is in need of some medical attention that they can only get with some of the equipment here. So you are holed up in this hospital. You have some buddies in here that are going to be, you know, performing some medical procedures on your friends. And you are essentially trying to protect them while that's going on. So right now I just got this little dummy target here, which is what the zombies are trying to get to. He doesn't do anything just yet, but essentially you know, eventually I'll turn that into a character that's doing some animations and stuff, and then you're just trying to prevent them from getting mauled to death. I have created some zombie spawners over here and put them in different locations in the map where zombies could theoretically get into the building. Right now I just have it set to spawn a new zombie every 15 seconds. Eventually what I want to do is, you know, kind of have like rounds where, you know, maybe it spawns some amount of zombies up to a point, and then that round's over, and then you get a few minutes to kind of run around the building, pick up ammo, loot, and stuff. But one of the main things I want to do is give you the ability to set traps. So I have in here, so I have the player has some weapons, but they're going to be discouraged from using them too much because the sound of them will end up drawing more zombies to them. So I do have a little noise meter set up. So right there at the bottom above my health bar, you can see if I start shooting, my noise meter is going up. The longer I wait, it'll kind of drop back down. So it's like that. The idea is, you know, if you are consistently making a lot of noise, you're going to attract more zombies. And so you want to avoid that. Right now, the The rifle does twice as much damage as the pistol, but it also makes like twice as much noise. So essentially you can get like 4 shots with the pistol and 2 shots with the rifle before you kind of go over the noise meter. And so I want to have it so that if you do go over the noise meter, it will decrease the rate that things are spawning. So for example, if your zombies are set to spawn every 15 seconds, maybe if you go over the noise meter, then that drops down to like every 12 seconds or 10 seconds or something like that for a certain amount of time until your noise drops back down. But to give the player some defenses that don't require all those noises, I want to essentially give you the ability to set up traps and barricades, much like Orcs Must Die, but not as crazy and wacky as those traps. I haven't really planned out what those traps are going to be yet. I was mainly just trying to get the very basics of the gunplay and the zombies, trying to get to their goal working first. So I will hopefully make a couple more zombie variations that maybe move at different speeds, have different amount of health, different resistances and that sort of stuff. Something I haven't done yet is changing the damage you do based on where you shoot them. Right now, like as long as you hit them, you're doing just a base rate of damage depending on the weapon. I would like headshots to be more effective. So, if you're careful with your aiming, you can take things out faster and reduce the amount of noise you're making. But yeah, I think the traps are going to be really fun. Something I'm going to have to try to figure out is like, I want right now, if I shoot the zombie, nothing really happens other than the fact that, some blood spurts out. And then once they reach 0 health, they kind of ragdoll onto the ground. I want some more like physical reactions. Like if you shoot them with the rifle and they die, I kind of want them to fly back or something. And if I have a trap set up where, a spiky arm flips out from the wall or something and smacks it, I'd like it if I could get it so that they go flying or something like that. I want it to be kind of visceral and fun that way. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. A few other things here. I actually imported the same landscape from my other game in here. You can't really see it that well, and I don't have the trees and stuff like that because it's kind of secondary. I'll worry about dressing up the places where you can kind of see out of the window later. Right now it's just kind of barren, but I just want to get the primary stuff working first, and then I'll try to make it look better. I've got the weather system from the other game as well, so I've got it set to this thunderstorm, and you can it's kind of hard to see, but here where there's a hole in the roof, there is some rain getting through. For the gunshots, I've added a little muzzle flash and so there's a Niagara system. Man, there's too many zombies. It's getting loud. Oh, while I'm thinking of that, the noises that these zombies are making are straight up the noises that my friend Alex sent me. So Those are fresh, new voice acted lines from Alex, which is pretty fun. Let me go in here. I'm going to increase this spawn timer so they aren't spawning so freaking much while we're running around here. All right. So yeah, I think I have 5 different zombie spawners. So I got them here by the entrance. There's one over here by this open window. You can see there's a bunch of other rooms and stuff in here too. That will be like places that you go to like loot things between rounds. So there's another spawner by that window. While there are stairs, there aren't actually levels on the other floors. Those are just for decoration. But the map here is pretty big, and I definitely get lost running around here sometimes. So something else that I'm thinking about doing is potentially having the oh yeah, there's a spawner up those stairs right there, so they'll come down the stairs. I'm thinking about having the person you're trying to protect potentially like move around to different rooms. So you know, you might set up some traps in a particular way, but then, you know, he has to go to another room to get some other piece of equipment or perform some other procedure. So then you have to like, you know, think about a different approach to defending things. Yeah, I was talking about the gun effects here a second ago. I got sidetracked. So I got the muzzle flash, which is Niagara system, which is the actual like little particles coming out of the end. I've got the actual light, which is just a point light that is attached to the gun that becomes visible for like 0.2 seconds whenever you shoot. And then I add the little camera shake to give it a little oomph. For the sounds, I just downloaded some sounds off of freesound.org, and it's really one gunshot sound that I'm using for both guns, but I just modified it a little bit so it sounds different. Get off my buddy. Yeah, so the stuff I've been working on mostly lately is trying to get the HUD working, get the ammo count system working. So I'm kind of been hitting some of the basic stuff again instead of making grand vistas to look at. But I think I'm having some fun with this, and I think the scope of this is much more manageable. So hopefully I can, you know, get this to a point where you can actually play it sooner rather than later. But yeah, that's your update for today. So thanks for hanging around with me again. Catch you later.